Today, we have this running in environments, I said both NBU as well as BE. Yeah. The other really neat piece about OST is that it enables us to add in another piece of software, an agent, called DXI Ascent. Ascent is a distributed deduplication agent. What it means with Ascent is that we load an agent on the media server that then looks at data as it comes in and decides whether or not I need to send this data to the DXI. By doing this, only unique blocks are moved, which means that the network traffic that I need is now cut down significantly. And what this opens up is then an option for us to say, can I back it up over a WAN? We can have a whole other discussion about whether you want to back it up over a WAN. But the point is an option. The neat piece about Ascent is it is not an all or nothing proposition. One of the unique features that Quantum has taken to this approach is we now come out and say, it's not all or nothing. You don't have to install this on every single server that writes to the backup target. Fact is, you probably don't want to put it on every server. There are some servers where you can afford the added CPU cycles. There are some servers where you can't. Right, where you're scraping everything you want, that you can out of that server already. Right. And last piece here that I do want to include also is everything that I've spoken about up until now. Deduplication, replication, the path to tape, Ascent, all of this is basically in the base price of the product. So what you won't see coming from Quantum is that you won't see this is the price of the product. Oh, you want to do that? Yeah, there's an additional software license. There's an enable additional feature license and so on. All right. Everything, replication, reporting, Ascent, OST, it's all in the product. So whether you want to roll it out now, you want to roll it out in 6 months, all right, it's all there. So no surprises. All right. I know one of the things that customers really hate. Right, and I've been on both ends of this. Right, really is that you kind of plan everything, you budget everything, and then it comes out and says, oh wait, there's a software license that you didn't purchase. Right. So that you won't find with the DXI. So where can you use Ascent? Right. As I said, it is on some servers and not on others. Right. So it's done per server. It enables backup over the WAN. Everything gets written to one DXI, which we can then automate and replicate it, either to another DXI or to tape. So with the DXI, I just wanted to leave you with this. This is basically the Barclay card in the US. So one of the major credit card manufacturers. Right. They basically had an environment where they had, in the data center, they had a conventional, I'm backing up to disk, and then after I back it up to disk, I cut it to tape. I take the tape, I put it on a truck, it gets shipped out to my warehouse or some sort of storage facility. Right. So when they started to expand their disk, right, they also started to look for a couple of alternatives. And they said, is there a way that I can also reduce media management? Right. Is there a way that I can deploy multiple sites and minimize the amount of human interaction? Right. So what they did was they evaluated several vendors and they chose Quantum. And the solution was basically to add a DXI together with a tape library, both in New York as well as New Jersey. And what they did was they added in the encryption, tape encryption into the picture. Right. And what they got out of it, right, Firstly was a huge reduction in media cost. Right. Because, quite simply, not everything needed to go to tape anymore. Right. My Oracle, my ERP needs to go to tape, and I need that for 7 years, 12 years, whatever it is. My file and print data doesn't. I'll keep it for 30 days, operational restore. After that, chuck it. I don't want it anymore. Right. So because they've reduced that, they got huge savings in media cost. They got huge savings in management costs as processes got simplified, because everything is automated right now from the backup to the replication. Right. And they got a huge cost savings in the storage cost. Again, less media, less storage cost. And one of the intangible benefits that they got was that they no longer had the risk of losing a tape. Today, LTO5 tape, you've got up to 3 terabytes of data. That's a heck of a lot of data to lose. Right. So what it worked out for them for Barclaycard was they got the ROI on the whole project in as little as 12 months. So with the cloud, as I said earlier, right, virtualization is going to be the norm, right, as we look at cloud technologies. Right. Whether you choose VMware, Microsoft Hyper-V, or you choose Citrix Zen, right, or actually those are the 3 main ones. All right, but fact is, what's going to happen is that the challenges are going to be different. Right. What we found is that basically the virtualization lines up very neatly with deduplication technology. As you look at how to protect your virtual machines, right, what we found with dedupe is that the amount of savings that you're going to get, right, multiplies with virtualization. Right. Because you can imagine, right, if I've got one physical server right now hosting 20 Windows servers, right, the amount of redundancy in there is staggering. Right. For customers, when we roll out deduplication, what we see as a real-world number is that customers can get about 20 to 1. Right. So 20 terabytes of data stored in 1 terabyte of disk space. Right. With virtualization, we started to see that number climb. Right. Today is not uncommon for a virtual environment for us to see as much as 30 to 1. Right. And again, with virtualization, it's the same question that we had in one of the early slides. Where do I pay my deduplication tax? Right. Do I pay it on the server, on the virtual server? Right. Do I pay it at the hypervisor? Do I pay it at the media server, or do I pay it at the target? Again, the quantum perspective is pay it at the target. Right, because at the target, it is a specialized piece of hardware. Right, sure, you can do it elsewhere, but the specialized piece of hardware makes the most sense. Right. In the same way today, you could say, can I run RAID? Can I run software RAID? Sure, absolutely you can. All right. How many of you will want to run software RAID in your production environments? Right. No, go buy a RAID card. Right. Do it in hardware. Right, because that is where it's the simplest, it's the most transparent, and it's the fastest. Right. So for the same reasons, we say, all right, run it on the appliance. So with virtualization, what we start to take is for the DXi, it is basically a technology agnostic approach. All right. I'm sure you've heard the session from Symantec giving you options for how to back up and how to protect your virtual service. All right. So whether you're taking it with a single DXi, all right, we have the ability to protect your virtual servers, whether you're using perhaps an older proxy-based backup, in which case you back it up to a NAS partition, all right, whether you're running conventional agents within it, in which case you can back it up to a VTL or to a NAS. All right. Or you're using a backup approach at a hypervisor level, All right, something like either Quantum's VM Pro software or, well, there's several, right? But, and then basically back it up to a single DXI. So this flexibility gives us the option of saying, however you choose, whatever makes sense for your environment, right? The DXI can work to that. Right. Of course, with this at a data center, if you've got a branch office and you want to back it up there and replicate it, right, that works as well. So you've got now one single box that's able to take your data from all these locations and at the same time push it out to a replication target or push it out to tape. The other piece that's changing is that right now with many of our customers, we are starting to look at not just backup anymore, but we're starting to look at what about archiving. Right. Quite simply, backup is about disaster recovery. Right. Backup is write once and I hope read never. Right. And the only reason you backup is to do a restore, right. And the only reason you do a restore is because something got messed up. Right. So you write everything and you just hope that you never have to read it. Right. So there's always a chance that data may never be accessed. Right. The option of, basically the whole purpose of backup is to say, bring me back my data to last Tuesday, last Wednesday, right, before the virus, before I go, before I clicked on that link that I shouldn't have and that wiped out my machine. Right. I want to roll it back to last Tuesday. Right. Archive, on the other hand, is a very different approach. Right. Archive is basically when you start looking at data that doesn't change. Surveillance videos. The movie files. Right. This is data that will never change. Friday's surveillance video is Friday's surveillance video. So that it makes absolutely no sense for me to back it up on Friday and back it up on Saturday and back it up on Sunday. So, and the the archive data will be accessed. The archive traditionally has been a big data play. Right. We are in this space because we've been dealing with big data in the form of rich media, working with companies like CNBC, like Turner, locally in Thailand with companies like MCOT and Thai PBS. Right. But fact is, big data is no longer for those select companies. Right. Big data is now coming down to a lot of our corporate environments. Right. Surveillance, as I said, is one space. In a more corporate piece, things like training videos. One of our biggest customers in the US is a company called Lydia.com, right? And they do basically online training. Right. Yeah, so